Friends, welcome to Mind and Intellect Conversations Next Gen podcast. One aspect which the next generation should be focused on is intellect. The schools where they study provides intelligence, which is very essential for their standard of living. But for the quality of living, it's a strong intellect which is essential, much more needed, and our institution, Mind and Intellect, is focused on creating the next generation in its best version. So we have weekly sessions for the next gen young adult sessions where youngsters learn about life, value systems, pure emotions, clarity in thinking, concentration, and various other elements which is essential for right living. So, in this podcast, we're going to have a conversation with our young adults who've been in this path of self-discovery for the last 4 or 5 years. The session starts with a super student, Sreeya. Welcome, Sreeya, to the Next Gen podcast. Wonderful to have you here.
Thank you, sir. Wonderful to be here. And this is such a wonderful opportunity. Thank you for having me.
Welcome.
And I would say that I first started attending the Vedanta lectures when I was 9 or 10 years old. So that would be around 6 to 7 years now.
Wow.
And I would be lying if I said that it didn't play a major role into sculpting me into the person that I am today. And they covered various topics: love, attachment, anger, regret, emotions, intellectual intelligence, a lot of topics that usually aren't focused as much in school, and it has played a major role into helping me become the person, not that I am today, but more so into the person that I want to be in the future.
Excellent.
And I would say that one of the topics that moved me the most would be the concept of swadharma. So swadharma, it is a Sanskrit term, as I'm sure you're aware, and it can be broken into 2 words. So it is swa and dharma. So swa means one's own, and dharma means nature. So in entirety, the word means one's own nature. So it's what brings out the best in you, or in me, or in anyone else. So it brings out the most authentic, determined, passionate version of you. And for me, currently, it is vaccinology or vaccine research.
Uh-huh.
And I feel that throughout the entirety of my childhood, any career aspiration that I've ever had has centered around the subject of biology. So it is important to understand what draws you the most towards it. Say if we take an artist to a mountaintop, they will be the ones who are most inclined towards recreating the scenery that they see, be it through paint or through sketches or whatever the medium may be.
Right.
But it might not be the case if we take in an engineer or a sports person, which is why it's crucial to understand that you cannot make an engineer out of an artist or an artist out of an engineer. It would not end too well. So it is crucial to understand what your talents are and to make consistent efforts towards them and to have faith. I feel faith is an important aspect of it, not only in yourself, but also in the future. And another part is I feel like making agreements, and especially the agreements you make with yourself, I feel are the most important. And if you make an agreement to choose a job that you love, then you never have to work a day in your life. Confucius.
Excellent.
And especially that if you choose a job that you love, then it will bring out the happiest version of you.
Right.
And I know that people say that, it is hard to find happiness within oneself, but it is impossible to find happiness anywhere else.
Excellent. Correct.
And their opposite of swadharma would be panadharma. So that means aliens to one nature. And unfortunately, I feel like nowadays especially, a lot of people choosing careers that have got nothing to do with their inherent nature.
Right.
Be it societal pressure, familial expectations, peer pressure, careers that make more money. But I feel that reputation, it is impermanent.
Right.
And be it 20, 30 years from now, you are going to regret the chances that you didn't take.
Correct.
More than you ever will making how many ever mistakes. So,
absolutely.
And if you're forced into a career, especially, or being pressured into it, it's not going to yield any fruit because anything forced, it's never forceful.
Right.
So, sir, what would be your advice, per se, if someone is first off struggling to identify that it's swadharma, or in case they do, they are hesitant to pursue it because of either familial expectations or the fact that it doesn't bring in as much money as one would hope?
See, you brought in a very important, I would say, a lifestyle choice. especially swadharma, is a Sanskrit word, but swa means, as you mentioned, one's own, dharma is nature. Each individual has a distinct quality, a nature to them, and they should take up to it. Now, to identify that, we got to observe our own thought process. Where does my mind naturally gravitate to? It's when I say it comes to work, or if it's a musician, they could be sitting in a park, but birds chirping would be like music. Children playing around will be like music. If for them the music is swadharma, and then a person who's a business person, a business is their swadharma. Anything they look at business. Yeah. Oh, if we are here, they may go for a holiday, and they said if we start a fast food joint here, there'll be a lot of money. Or see, it is therefore each one has that. All that we're saying is spend quality time with yourself early part of the day. Observe where my thoughts rush to. I'm not talking about hobbies here. It looks like a hobby, but it is much more than a hobby. See, stamp collecting, or this is not like it's a hobby. But swadharma, one's own nature, it is something which you naturally gravitate to. One is observe your own thought process. And then expose yourself to various activities.
Yeah.
When you expose yourself to, even a person could be very sports minded, when they're exposed to various sports and one interest comes up. It is that's one aspect. It says horizontal exposure and vertical expertise. They say you keep exploring, you keep trying various aspects, something will click. If you have not tried anything at all, then there are people, in fact, it's lazy thinking. If anybody says, I don't know my swadharma, one is lazy thinking, or it's a fear of failure, or they are giving it to others' opinion. The other aspect, they don't have enough confidence in them.
Yeah.
So all that we're saying is, there's a statement, be true to yourself. Everyone has an inner calling. Everyone, without exception. The thing is, if you have to spend the next 40 years in a particular work, it should be your choice.
Precisely, yeah.
They say, my guru used to say, if you can't find happiness through your action, through the performance of action, you will not find it anywhere else. Another reason I'm giving, if you're going to spend 8 to 10 hours a day at work, shouldn't it be something which benefits you, something which helps you to be more productive, peaceful? Money is one aspect. Money is essential. Choose a job. You mentioned choose a job you love. Then you don't need to work a day in your life.
Yeah.
So all that you're saying is be true to yourself. Even if it takes 6 months, 1 year, or 2 years, try and find it. Observe your thought process. Discuss with your parents or your teachers as to ask them what is it you observed in me which seems to be a natural trait in me, and then pursue it. You have to excel in it. Yeah. Identify it, give you 100%, excel in it, results will happen. See, it is nothing like taking up to a work which fulfills you. There's no other happiness than work done joyfully, happily. And the money also is a byproduct of it.
Yeah.
See, most people take up to a work looking at the money which they can earn. Nothing wrong, but if money decides how I have to spend my day, then I may not be happy.
Yeah.
You decide as to how you have to spend your day, your quality of work. So it's a important mindset shift, a quality of choice. Why I'm telling you, sometimes you make a choice and for 20 years you suffer with it.
Yeah.
And then there is a career change. Many people talk about midlife crisis.
Yeah.
Because they have not enjoyed the work. My guru, he's 99 now. Even at the age of 92, he used to write a book. He was authored a book. So the most joyful way of living is taking up a work which you are inspired, motivated, and looking forward to it. In fact, if the work you've taken up to is your swadharma, is your own nature, then you look forward to Monday mornings.
Yeah.
If it is your paradharma, you're waiting for the Friday evenings. Thank God it is Friday.
Yeah.
That's paradharma. Looking forward to the Monday. It's Monday morning. I'm so happy going to work. There are stress and strain.
Yeah.
But you look forward to work. That is predominantly through swadharma. So you are at the age and stage in life where you got to make a choice with reference to swadharma.
Yeah.
Make a choice which will be your swadharma and live up to it. You will be very happy.
Thank you, Sid. I feel like that really would have answered a lot of people my age's questions as well, especially seeing as they're at a crossroads at life when they have to make that important decision. And I feel like another important part of swadharma would also be your attitude.
Right.
Because if you don't get the right attitude, you won't be able to make the right decisions. And it is I also feel it's an essential part of the perseverance that is required to go after your swadharma or after your goals, and whatever they may be. And it is by definition, it's just a pattern of thought. And seeing as we have more than around 80,000 thoughts a day, out of which 80% of them are repetitive, it is crucial to have a strong intellectual capacity to be able to regulate those thoughts that you're getting every day. But also, I feel like there was a particular quotation that I remember that was being discussed when we did the class a while ago. So it goes like this: without changing anything externally, with a slight change in the way you think and feel, everything about your life changes.
Absolutely.
And I feel like that is such a powerful quotation. It could be for a lot of people in all spheres of life. And a simple example would be, Dubai right now, it is grueling hot, very hot. And so many people are complaining, oh, we can't go out anymore. It's too hot to hang out outside. I'm getting tanned, makeup's melting up. A lot of complaints.
Right.
But me complaining or you complaining or anyone else complaining, it's not going to make tomorrow any less hotter when it comes around. And it's not going to change summer into this less crueler season or stop it from coming around next year. So I feel like that acceptance is an important part.
Right.
In this situation, it's quite simple, but I feel like that mindset could be applied to a lot more deeper or complicated parts of life.
I'm glad that you learned this in a fine-tuning your attitude in the classes. In fact, eventually life is nothing but the right attitudes.
Yeah.
Summer is going to be hot, wherever you are, whatever it is. So the right attitude leads to acceptance. I'm with you. I'm glad. Develop the right attitude in every aspect of life.
Yeah.
Every aspect of life. Eventually, your growth is determined by the attitude you adopt in life. And acceptance is the effect of a right attitude.
Definitely.
Excellent.
So, sir, but some people, you'd find that it's hard for people to change a lifelong belief or an opinion that they hold dear. So what would you say it takes for someone to let go of that belief that they've been having for their whole life? And why is it so hard for them to do so?
See, it is, when I say beliefs, you got to question your beliefs.
Yeah.
It is a mere belief without the right reasoning it's a blind belief.
True.
So you got to question what you believe in must be resonate with you. It's not just a belief. It's a firm thought. It's either you join the young adult sessions, the Vedanta young adult session. It's a belief that it will help you.
Yes.
But having attended for a few months, then you know that it is beneficial. It's no more a belief; it's a faith. There's a faith that these sessions will help you. It starts with a belief, but it ends in a total faith. So it is by questioning your beliefs. Many a times you got to question our beliefs. Is it worthwhile? Is it right? Then things change. So the blind belief, you become a fanatic. When you question your belief and take it, you progress in life.
And so how much of someone's attitude on what is right or wrong, or what is incorrect or correct, how much of that would you say has been influenced by the societal norms or societal expectations of what society thinks we should think is what right or wrong?
See, the society, social media, televisions and all that play a role in they are the influences.
Yeah.
And when you expose yourself to them enough and more, you may get influenced.
Yeah.
You may get we do get influenced. So one is to take it blindly. Again, I would say question it. Do I need it? This is where the intellect comes into play.
Yeah.
The mind may like it, but the intellect comes into play. You got to question it, and then do I need it? Does it align with my values? Does it go along with my goals in life? So then you take it. Otherwise, it's easy to say, you go to a shopping mall, you buy a lot of stuff. It's all available. But The supply is there, but the demand you control. The demand is from yourself. Supply is there. The society is gonna give you various things, but the demand you got to deal with. This is where the intellect comes into play. Your values, your, I would say, continuous progress will help you immensely.
Yeah, and I'm sure you mentioned when I was talking to you a while ago that we should always be a work in progress. I feel like that really struck with me as well.
Excellent.
And another aspect that we'd covered that was sort of linked to swadharma a while ago was the concept of vasanas. So vasanas are again they mean our core individual or our inherent nature, and they also mean fragrance.
Right.
But vasanas are the root of all our actions.
Right.
And the chronology of our actions, they begin with desires.
Right.
And desires, again, are just a flow or stream of thoughts.
Right.
But in a conducive environment, these desires, they get stronger and stronger until they're enacted. So again, I feel like, as you'd mentioned, the intellect needs to play a crucial role because desires, they are the root of our actions.
Right.
And again, desires are just a stream of thoughts. So unless we have control over our thoughts, it's our thoughts that have control over us.
Correct. Absolutely. In fact, vasana, thought, desire, action. That's the chronology.
Yeah.
We may not know what our vasanas are, but we may know what your vasanas could be through the thoughts which you entertain.
Yeah.
So be cautious. If you can do the correction at the thought level, then you can have a control over life. So I'm glad that you're learning all these aspects, swadharma, attitudes, vasanas. We may never know the vasanas, but thoughts, 80,000 to 90,000 thoughts a day. If you are able to understand, is this thought right to be entertained? Or should I nip it in the bud? Thought, if you allow it, it becomes a desire, and you make the desire strong, it manifests as action. So watch out. At the thought level, become aware and deal with it gracefully. Life will be beautiful.
Yeah. And also choosing to do something, I believe, or like aspiring to having a career or aspiring to have a career in something, it should not depend as much as whether or not you're capable of doing it, but rather on whether or not it is something worth doing. So in that case, sir, would you say that success is defined by the work someone puts in or the impact they leave behind? So can you say that someone is successful even if they are not recognized for it, if they haven't left an impact behind?
See, the impact may not be felt at certain time. Vincent van Gogh painting was recognized 100 years after, maybe more than 100 years.
Yeah, centuries after.
Over 100 years. And when he couldn't even sell a painting during his lifetime. So what I'm saying is, first is, it should be your swadharma. It should be your nature.
Yes.
And the impact is going to be, it can happen in your lifetime or later. The impact will be there. All that I'm saying, don't focus on the impact. Focus on honing your swadharma, that skills, and giving your 150% to it. Then the impact will happen. Is it worth it? According to whom? As a musician, you have brought the best symphony.
Yeah.
Later on, somebody, the impact, leave it. They let the world look into it. But delivery of the product, that I am focused on. That is based on your swadharma. Impact will be there. Sometimes you may not be there to see it, but you will create an impact for sure. So again, swadharma is a must. Don't deviate. Paradharma is not an option at all for youngsters. And you're all strong, self-made, and in a career-oriented and confident. So don't miss out. Swadharma, whatever is your swadharma, take up to it, live by it, and you'll be internally peaceful, externally successful. That's the way to live.
But I feel like your answer also reminded me of that one quote that I came across a couple of weeks ago, that others' perceptions of you or others' opinions of you, they should really be none of your business. So I feel like it really resonates with a lot of people my age, or just not my age, or any spheres of life.
Correct. See, if it holds value, then it's okay. Otherwise, it's their opinion. What can I do?
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
It was a very enlightening conversation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll look forward. Thank you. Friends, now we have the youngest student in the NextGen podcast. It's a privilege and an honor to have our youngest student, Poorvith Kabra. 10 years old. He's been attending the Vedanta for young adults for a couple of years, or 1 year now, I guess. And so happy to have you, Poorvith. What have you learned in the sessions?
So I've learned many things, but before I get to that, first I wanted to thank you and Sarita ma'am for helping me out so much and giving me this wonderful opportunity today. I really appreciate the way you helped many people understand the topic of Vedanta. I've learned a lot of Vedanta topics in my year, and it's made a big impact on my life. It might have been desires or various festivals, or maybe introspection process or change.
Our desires you learned, huh?
Yeah.
Poorvith? Okay, wonderful. And about the festivals?
Yeah.
The various the festivals we celebrate. Excellent. Go ahead. And I'm here to learn from you, Poorvith, now.
So today me and you will be talking about the topic change.
Okay.
So correct me if I'm wrong, but change is when you replace something with the same thing, but it is newer or better. Example, let's look at the cars from the past and the present. Now, before in the past, some cars might have not had the same gears or models like we have now. All the cars in the past worked on petrol, but we've changed so much, and now some of our cars work on electricity. Is
Right.
this a correct example?
Absolutely, yes. That is change.
If you do not change, you will perish. So, as an example, if you do not change your behavior and your lifestyle routine, then everything will go wrong. If your lifestyle routine is waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning on weekdays, and your bus comes at 6:20, then it will be a big rush for you.
Right.
And the entire day you will be tired.
Correct. So you got to change.
Yeah.
Change means improvement.
Yeah.
Change means your willingness to change, to move from where you are in the past and where you are now and where you want to go in the future. That is
Yeah.
change. So you are changing, I guess, Poorvith, from what you are a couple of years ago and now.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yes.
Huh? Wonderful. You got to keep. When I say change, mean improving.
Yes.
They say the average can become better, the better can become good, the good can become great. So it's all through the process of continuous improvements, which we call as change.
Now I want to tell you a point that the
Okay.
only thing in this world that you can change is yourself. Correct me on this example. If I am the captain of a school, but I am not disciplined, then what's the point of me disciplining other students?
Correct.
So I will have to change myself and become disciplined so that other students will listen to me.
Right. Excellent. I mean, you are the student leader, I am told, in your school.
Yeah.
Huh? So you have to be the example. You got to lead the way, not just show the way. So, which is right. I'm glad. And you seem to have the leadership qualities, Poorvith. Go ahead.
So I've also heard that the world is in a flux of change. Example, there are 4 main seasons that the earth experiences. During the seasons, there are a lot of changes like in weather and crop growing and etc. It is very fascinating that not only we humans change, but even the world changes, right?
Correct. The world is constantly changing.
Yeah.
Now it's afternoon. After some time, it's evening. Then night comes. Then again, the morning happens. Every aspect of the world is continuously changing. So are you. You're very young and cute now. Maybe 5 years' time, you'll become taller. 10 years' time, maybe you're taller than your father. You're gonna change. You will be, whether you like it or not, you're changing.
Yeah. So if you do not change, change will change you.
Right.
Example, if I wear the same clothes every day without changing them, one day the smell of my clothes will hit me and I will realize that the smell of my clothes is so nasty that nobody will come next to me.
Correct.
Is this a correct example?
Correct. Then you have to change.
Yeah.
If for yourself.
Yeah.
Than others. You're right. Change. See, you change. Not just clothes. Every day you brush your teeth, you wash your face, take a shower, right? You change.
Yeah.
It is. You keep doing it for your own betterment. So excellent. Then.
There are also many quotes on change, like by Mahatma Gandhi, "Be the change you want to be," and by Ratan Tata, In a world that is changing quickly, the only strategy that is guaranteed to fail is not taking risks.
Excellent. You got to take risk, meaning the willingness to put in effort.
Yeah.
Excellent. Then,
Guruji, now I want to ask you if you can tell me some steps to change my life and make it even better.
right. See, change means it requires a certain discipline. It's like you mentioned, right? A person wearing the same clothes, he becomes, there should be a discomfort.
Correct.
You feel uncomfortable, the smell you don't like, or you're waking up very late in the morning. There must be a certain level of discomfort. And you also observe others who are waking up early and going to the gymnasium so you look at, one is there's a discomfort felt within, and that awareness of you observing others that creates inspiration. So therefore, that way change, that change starts happening within you. So it is therefore observe. More and more your intellect is stronger, you will embrace change. That's what it is.
Yeah, well, Guruji, it's been a pleasure talking with you today, and I would like to thank you for this wonderful opportunity you have given me today.
Thank you, Poorvith. It's just a beginning for you, Poorvith. So much you're going to learn, so much you're going to internalize, and I can only see you becoming better and better. Huh? So what is your message for other students, youngsters of your age?
My message is that take Vedanta seriously. Just don't learn it and then the next day let it go out of your mind. Keep it with you throughout life, because I'm telling you, Vedanta is a lesson that stays with you for life.
Excellent. And you're going to pursue this all your life?
Yeah, of course.
Of course. Huh? All the best to you, Poorvith. And thank you for giving your time and your thoughts with all of us.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Friends, we have another new student now, Raksha Vivek. She's 14 years old, right? And then she's been attending the sessions for the last 6 months. Very inquisitive. She tried various other sessions, but what resonated most was the Vedanta sessions. Your mother is a yoga teacher, right?
Yeah, she is.
So that's how we came to know about Raksha. And we're going to discuss with her as to what inspired her in these sessions. Welcome, Raksha. So happy to have you. And it's been, 6 months?
Yeah, 6 months. Thank you. First of all, thank you for having me. I've been attending Vedanta class for 5-6 months now. I can't really remember when I first started.
Right.
But like, as you said, I've tried like a lot of other extracurriculars or activities beforehand. But I mean, generally I like to bounce around things, but I don't think any of them has really resonated with me as much as Vedanta did.
Excellent.
So yeah, it is definitely really interesting. It's taught me many things. Mainly, I feel like it has opened my eyes a lot. Like I'm now aware of topics that I never really understood before, like how we make decisions, the difference between our thoughts, desires, and all of that together has really come to put an impact on my life. Even when I first started the classes, I was telling my mother, Mom, why should I join this? And then at the first few sessions, I was a bit
not very sure.
Yeah, not sure. That's the word, yeah. But then after a while, I've noticed, even not consciously, even like the topics that we've learned in class are coming into my life. Like we've learned about desires versus deserving. And one of the topics that I think have impacted me the most is gratification. Yeah.
Delayed.
Instant and delayed gratification. But I think I would say gratification as a whole. So gratification, in my understanding, is an emotion that one feels when they fulfill something. Like if you complete a task and you get that feeling inside, like, yes, I have done this. And so that's what I feel like gratification is. And it can be split off into two sort of branches, I would say, instant and delayed gratification. And instant gratification for me is going to completing a small task and rewarding yourself hugely, like chasing doing something small to get that instant feeling of, yes, I have done this fulfillment. And I think before my Vedanta classes, I think I've been doing this a lot. Now, looking back, I realize, for example, when I'm studying, okay, I used to, when I complete a small task, I'll pick up my phone and play a game or scroll or something. And that, I realize now, has been distracting me more than normal. Like, I do such a small task and reward myself with something huge. And this is the trap of instant gratification. You start doing small things that get the quick fix instead of solving the bigger problem. And this leads to not being able to face the consequences of the trap. And I've also noticed this because when I get distracted easily and I don't do my schoolwork with full sincerity, this was last year, 7th standard, I noticed that I don't really get the full marks. Like when it comes to math tests, last year I wouldn't really get the marks that I should have gotten because there were small gaps that I missed when I was studying. And all of this, it's instant gratification. I've noticed it just negatively impacted my life. But after Vedanta classes, I have learned about delayed gratification and the difference between the two. And that I've started implementing that in my life and it changed it. So delayed gratification is basically resisting that impulse to quickly go for the quick fix, to target the greater fix. So I think an example in my life would be, instead now when I do math test, I'll study for maybe 1 hour, 2 hours, and then every day at least for maybe 5-6 days, as much as I need. And then I notice I get the full score in the tests or a higher grade than what I would have gotten if I just didn't do that. And I think this, like, not just in academics, I feel like it's been...
Correct. It applies to all aspects of life.
Definitely, it does.
Such an important learning. Go ahead. Wonderful to listen to you.
Yeah. So not just in academics, maybe in like the sports or extracurriculars I take. Just like not going for that quick solution, it reaps better results than what I would have gotten originally. And this has just really positively impacted my life as a whole.
Fantastic. If youngsters of your age, you're 14, 13?
Yes, 14.
14. And if you can fine-tune your thinking this way, you align with delayed gratification.
Yes.
Not going for instant gratification, then that lifestyle, that mindset change does wonders. Because you're not falling you're not going to give in to the attractions of the world.
Yeah.
So I remember a very successful entrepreneur, he had a tattoo, delayed gratification. That was his tattoo. I said, not bad. But now you can have a mind tattoo, delayed gratification. Anything which gives you instant pleasure, watch out.
Yeah.
Anything which, it could be in the scriptures, it says, the false happiness is nectar in the beginning, poison in the end, which is instant gratification.
Yes.
And delayed, it says, true happiness is like poison in the beginning, but nectar in the end. Delayed gratification. Continue with it in every aspect of life, not just in your studies, but in every aspect of life, delayed gratification.
Yeah, it really has helped, and it just gives me better results in the long end. And I know that if I continue with this, then in my life I think I would generally just live better with better results in everything, rather than just going quickly and not getting what I deserve or desire the most.
Correct.
Yeah.
Excellent. Youngsters, this is for all youngsters, it's a compulsory learning.
Yes.
It's like how computers, AI becoming compulsory learning.
Yeah.
This goes lifelong. So I'm glad that you're making that mind shift change.
Yeah, I've started telling my friends too.
Is it?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Whenever sometimes we get together and we study as a group. So when I notice that they get distracted just after an hour or two, I say, "Hey guys, if you focus on it now, you're gonna get the better grade in the end." And then I think maybe if they start implementing that too, some of them have, we'll all get better results, and I think we'll all just be happier as a group as well.
Correct. And less distracted.
Yes.
When the instant gratification is what? The distractions are more. Delayed gratification, less distractions.
Well,
Yes. What are the other things you have learned?
well, well, I have a question for you.
Yes,
Can I
go
ask?
ahead,
Okay.
please.
Well, I've talked a lot, but how has delayed gratification helped you in life? I mean,
See, in every aspect, gratification is what? You're looking at the result of a particular action. The pleasure, joy, and whatever it is, no? It is delayed gratification is a thought process which I've adopted in life.
yeah.
And even when I say learning, there are sometimes you're learning some tough concepts. Over a period of time, you are at it. And over a period of time, it helps you.
Yes.
The instant gratification, see, the interesting part with instant gratification, I observed is you lose the joy content over a period of time. It could be mango season is there. You get a box of mangoes. You have the first mango, instant gratification. Second, the joy content reduces.
I understand.
After third mango, you say you don't want it.
Yeah.
The joy content goes away. So delayed gratification is you have one,
Yeah.
and maybe another one the other day. So delayed gratification is the way we have to adopt in every aspect of life. See, especially when it comes to results, you learnt about desiring and deserving. There's a law of life which says you get what you deserve, not what you desire.
Yes.
So what we are saying, delayed gratification, how it works is, it makes you, having fixed a desire, now how I can become deserving enough for that desire. That is delayed gratification.
Right.
Instant gratification, you have a desire and you want to fulfill it. The desiring and deserving. In life, we get what we deserve, not what we desire.
Right. Yes.
It is a delayed gratification will help you to accomplish all the desires in your life. Because you are deserving enough.
Yes.
You are putting that effort and you are deserving enough. So for me, it is delayed gratification alone is the way. In every aspect, in our studies, in dealing with people, there's no instant gratification. Instant gratification works for a while, but it has a very negative impact over a period of time. So it doesn't help. So anything else you have? I hope it answers your question.
It does. It definitely does. I have one more question.
Yes.
Do you think, now in this day and age, everyone is surrounded by devices and social media. Do you think, especially teenagers having access to social media, do you think it makes it harder to adopt that delayed gratification?
Yes, in a way. It is, you're right. See, because social media gives you instant gratification.
Right.
A photograph or a song or I don't know, whatever. There's so many. So in simple terms, if you use the social media as a form of distraction, then what happens? That distraction becomes an attraction.
Yeah.
Now it is very difficult to come out of that attraction. So I'm not saying avoid social media. Use it to your advantage. There could be some learnings from it. YouTube is not bad. Or it is all social media is not bad. It's how you use it.
Yeah.
If you use it as a tool for improving yourself, then it's fine. Otherwise, it's a distraction.
And
It is a mindless scrolling. Can you imagine on Instagram or any other, I don't know, TikTok? Mindless scrolling. You're only looking for instant gratification.
yeah.
So it doesn't work. All that you're saying is the mind gravitates to instant gratification. It's more and more you strengthen your intellect, your buddhi, that devises an avenue whereby you are adopting delayed gratification. See, delayed gratification, your happiness is little delayed, but it is guaranteed.
Yes.
Instant gratification, the pleasure is there now, but trouble is going to be there in the future. So it is with the social media and other aspects, all that is a tool, is an instrument. Use it for your growth. There could be videos or articles which will help you, but there are many other things which could pull you down. And don't believe everything which is put up on social media.
Yeah.
Especially for the very happy, it looks like holiday, but the truth can be completely different.
Right.
So don't believe everything on social media. If there's interesting concepts, ideas, that you should take it up and restrict it. Don't have a unlimited access. It is for your own welfare.
Yeah.
And there are various other aspects, books, music, yoga, and so many other aspects are there.
Sometimes now when I study, I have this pouch which I have, and the thing is, it locks. So normally when I really need to focus and study, I keep my phone in that pouch and I keep it in another room. So it just doesn't distract me when it's on my bed or next to me, because I don't want to get up and go get it. So I think it kind of pushes me to just focus in that way.
Excellent.
And then afterwards, when I'm done studying, I have some free time, and that's definitely a form of delayed gratification that helped me achieve a lot.
Excellent. Very happy to know that. See, this is discipline you are bringing by yourself. You are using your intellect in programming your mind in such a way that the focus is on what you need to do.
Yeah.
It is the stories and the Instagram is always going to be there for 24 hours. If not now, you can see it in your free time. So excellent. Keep up to it. This kind of a discipline must be there in all aspects of your life.
Yeah.
Not just your studies, but your personal life, in dealing with others. It is a compulsory discipline. Don't. Once you do that, then you are happy. That's when it can be delayed, but it will be guaranteed. You will be much more happier, much more peaceful. Anything else you like to share?
No, that's it from me.
Wow, wonderful. Thank you for your time. This is a big learning. Not being a victim to instant gratification and aligning your life with delayed gratification. It's compounding effect. Over a period of time, you'll see that.
Yeah.
It will immensely benefit you. This is only one of the concepts you're learning. You're going to learn far more in the classes.
Yeah, I'm excited to continue.
Yes,
definitely.
wonderful. Thank you for your time. Thank you for being with us. Wish you the very best in life.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Welcome. Friends, now we have an important student with us. When I say important, Akshaya Nagarajan. Akshaya has been attending Saritaji's lectures for almost 4.5 years now. And her father, Nagarajan, he's been attending my lectures for the last 10 years. So, in fact, I was with Nagarajan on the day Akshaya was born. So I've known her ever since, and very happy. And one of the bright students in our Vedanta young adult sessions. So we will get to learn what she has learned in our sessions. Welcome, Akshaya. Wonderful to have you with us in this Next Gen Mind and Intellect podcast. It's up to you now.
It's an honor to be here. So I've been here for the past 4 years, and I've learned a lot, like a vast variety of topics. And I've been talking about this to some of my friends, and it's surprising for me to know that they don't know certain topics. Like you could take desires, for example. I was casually mentioning it the other day, and my friend she asked me what it is. So for those who don't know, it's like the thoughts from you to an object. Like, I want this. The want in that is desires. Like, and these desires, they continuous flow. They keep flowing from you to an object, from you to an object. And once these thoughts get interrupted, you get angry. That's the main topic I'm going to talk about, anger. It's like, imagine you are watching, like you want to watch TV. So like you took the TV remote, turned it on, and you're watching it. And then your mother comes. She's like, okay, please go and study. Your exams in 2 weeks. You shall go study. You're like, okay, I'll do it later. First time, second time, third time. The fourth time she comes and asks you to go study, you will get mad. It starts with mild irritation. Now it's full-blown anger. In that moment, your mind will take control of your body, and then you will start reacting to the situation. You will talk back or you yell back, and then your mother, she'll be surprised but mad, and she will also start reacting. And then it will escalate into an argument.
Right.
And these arguments, they are very dangerous. They could ruin the relationship you have with the other person.
Correct.
And if you let your mind keep controlling you during these situations, it's gone. The relationship is gone.
Correct.
In these classes, I've learned how to de-escalate the situation. It starts off with you calming yourself down, take a deep breath in and out, and then calm down, bring your rationality into the situation, and then you wait for the other person to calm down. You just wait. And then after they've calmed down, you can talk in a civilized manner and the situation won't escalate, and you will have saved yourself friendship or relationship. And if you let your mind control, it will escalate situation, and it's either you or the person who will leave the relationship. And furthermore, after a few hours, minutes, or days, you will start regretting the situation.
Correct.
You're like, oh, I wish I didn't do this to her. Oh, I wish I'd not yelled back at her. You would feel regret. And that regret, sometimes it would consume you. It will tire you out. It just stays in back of your head every day. To avoid these regrets, what you can do is you could take your rationality, that is the intellect, and make sure it comes before you do an action or while doing an action. For now, you are the mind controls you during arguments, and your intellect comes in after you finish the argument or the action, and you keep regretting it. Now, you could, from that point, you could improve a bit and bring your intellect during the action. It will escalate situation, but not too much, and you could save some parts of the relationship. And from that point, you could take it more further and improve it by bringing your intellect before you do an action. So you could save the entirety of the friendship, and you won't have much regrets later in the future.
Excellent. And very nicely put across. So about desire and interruption to the desire, which is anger, and the arguments. It is a complete, otherwise, the emotional drama, the anger.
It's like a chain of event. Once you get mad,
events.
everything happens.
So this you learned in the classes now.
Yeah.
And how is your control over desire or anger?
It used to be more frequent. Before I attended Vedanta class, or for first few years, it's been frequent. But now it has decreased.
Which means, what has decreased?
The anger.
The anger has decreased.
It's me starting, ending an argument, escalating a lot also, it has decreased a lot. And now it just stops midway.
Which means your intellect has become stronger. The intellect is able to hold the mind properly. Therefore, the escalation is not there.
It's not there.
Not there, huh? Wonderful. If I keep telling even the adults, if only you understand the futility of anger. What have people achieved with anger? Except disruption to a relationship, arguments, blood pressure, emotional drama, nothing. Apart from that, anger doesn't serve anything. It is, therefore, there's a statement, for every minute you become angry, you lose 60 seconds of peace. About anger. And 1:60. Every minute, 60 seconds of peace you have lost. Or they say, there's another statement, is anger is like holding a ball of fire in your hand and throwing it on the other person. Other person gets hurt, but in the process, you have burnt your hand.
Yeah.
It doesn't serve. So I'm glad that it's a very important learning, and we're not just understanding about it, living it. My guru used to say, at times you have to use your anger, but never lose your anger.
After learning about that particular topic, I after applying it, I've gotten more friends than losing.
Really, huh?
Yeah.
That's such a lovely escalation in life. You got more friends now.
Yeah, more friends compared to before. It's before when I get if we have a small disagreement, I used to get very mad and I will escalate it very much. Now it's like improved a lot. So I got new friends, many
Very
friends.
good. So happy to know that. See, which means what? You become more, the friendliness in you has escalated. Because you are tolerant, you're accepting. You see, that is a quality of a good friend. You know, it is so wonderful. So, what are the other things you have learned?
I have a question.
Yes.
It's like a regret. Is it a sign of weakness or can it be a sign of wisdom?
See, on the face of it, regret is not a sign of wisdom. It is a weakness. Regret is what? You've done something, you made a choice, or you performed an action, and that action comes back and haunts you.
But like if you're in a similar situation, you could make sure to bring the intellect before that action,
Correct.
and then it could also be improved. Can it? not?
Correct. You know, if by knowledge you understand, or by others, you by observation. So the regrets. That's really, if you're able to use the intellect before the action, the regrets are no. There's no regrets at all. So when I say, is regret a blessing or a curse?
Yeah.
It is who suffers with regrets? The person going through it. So is it an advantage? It's a disadvantage. So the less regrets you have, then it's a blessing. No regrets, big blessing. No, I mean, it's not that easy, but it is a regret on the face of it it's a negative trait. Because you are holding on to it. That regret, only you'll go through it. So the less regrets, better you are. More regrets, I mean, regret and peace don't go together. Where there is regrets, there is no peace. There is no happiness. Where there is less regrets, you always have the potential of being more peaceful. So it is to answer, let there be no regrets. I mean, let there be less regrets. No regrets it's a very high state to reach. Less, or even if you done something, instantly your intellect comes and corrects it. So the regrets are still lesser.
And like it's impossible to have a life without regrets, because like from when you're considering the entirety of the life, from the time you were born to the time you die, you start learning how to handle your regrets like at a midpoint of like in your teenage years or in your adult years. So like you can't have a regretless life.
See, you're right. It looks like you can never have a regretless life, a life without regrets. See, all that we're saying is you keep strengthening your intellect, purifying your mind. You'll be able to manage situations, handle situations well. Therefore, where is the question of regrets? It is only when the mind takes over and the intellect is available much after the action, regrets happen. But if there is a confluence of mind and intellect, you have a strong intellect, a pure mind, then regrets, there's no space for regrets. I'm not saying they will not, it's zero regrets, but you will be able to correct yourself. So don't look at dealing with regrets, but look at the positive aspects of strengthening your mind, strengthening the intellect, purifying the mind. That's all you should focus on. Now, I want to live a life without regrets it's an effect of living life well with the confluence of mind and intellect. So, we may, even the wise people make mistakes, but they say they're like a tennis ball. They bounce back very fast. So that's how it is. And any other learnings you from the sessions you have attended?
It's like I'm more grateful for everything that I'm grateful to my dad for like introducing this entire class to me. Like usually in the beginning, I was not paying much attention. I used to get distracted a lot, but now I started to enjoy, write notes, take notes.
Wonderful. So you're grateful to your dad?
I'm grateful for everyone.
Huh? To everyone? What about your mother?
Everyone, like she's included.
She's included. Okay, very good. The gratitude should be to one and all. Now we keep, I'm sure you would have learned this in Saritaji's classes. Express your gratitude, but don't expect gratitude. Express gratitude, but don't expect gratitude. But you, from your, that's a later part. You will learn. You're just 14, right?
Yeah, 14.
14, turning 14, my God.
I turned 14.
Huh? You turned
14.
14. Wonderful. 14 years, I can't imagine. I still very vivid in my memory, the day you're born. I was sitting next to your father in the car. He received a call and he said, okay. He said, what happened? What's the call? No, my wife delivered a girl child. Wow, you do. So that's how long I've known you. And continue with this path, Akshaya. This is a lifelong learning process. So that it will help you in every role of your life, every stage of your life. So as you mentioned, initially you are distracted, now you're much more focused. In fact, in your age, if you're able to understand what desires you have and what desires to pursue, it's a very big learning in life. So keep to it. Thank you very much. And any other thing you want to share? This is
Thank you for having me.
wonderful. Best wishes, and we'll definitely connect with you another series of podcasts. Thank you.
Thank you.
Friends, now we have Dhriti Kabra, the sister of Poorvith Kabra and the daughter of Naveen Kabra. Dhriti has been attending the Vedanta for young adults for over 4 years now, and a bright student. She secured over 96% marks in the 10th board exams, which talks about her proficiency in education. Very happy and proud to have Dhriti Kabra with us. Thank you, Dhriti, for joining us. You seem to have been, as you mentioned, 4 years you've been attending. What are the certain aspects you liked most in these classes?
Okay, so before I get into that, first of all, Vedanta, it tells us that mind, it's not inherently bad and it's a tool. But if you let it become the master, then it weakens you and also traps you. So in these classes, I have learned how to strengthen my intellect. So in these classes, I have learned many topics like giving, letting go, and also the symbolism of different festivals, which I never really paid attention before, but now I've learned a lot. So, but my favorite topic was the games our mind plays with us. So today we'll be talking about that.
Excellent.
So first of all, our mind, what is the nature and our quality? So our mind, it has likes, dislikes, and emotions. It can never remain constant and it's always wandering here and there. It does not let us concentrate. So the nature of our mind, it's said to be asthira and chanchala. Our mind is constantly seeking variety and it makes us attached with every possession that we have. So what are the real games our mind plays with us without us knowing? So first is doubt. Our own mind, it doubts us and it doubts our commitment. And when we don't live up to that commitment, that's when our mind starts doubting us.
Okay.
So second is judgment. Our mind, it constantly judges us, it compares us and creates conflict. It judges the areas of our interest, and the mind, it starts doubting, and that's when it starts judging you. So first is doubt and then is judgment. So we always compare ourselves to others, and when we judge other people, it shows more about our personality and judgment rather than theirs.
Correct. It's easy to have judgments. Very difficult to rise above it. Once you have a judgment, there's an opinion which is formed. And we relate with others with our judgments. So you got to be one aspect, as you mentioned, you're learning the games our mind plays with us. It doubts us. Every time you don't live up to your commitment, your mind doubts you. I don't think you're capable of. And judgments. It's very easy to form judgments. So you got to be very careful. I'm glad that you're learning these things as in your sessions. What are other learnings you have gone through?
So the next is our mixed thought association. So when we have a particular topic, we're either for or against it. But our mind, it actually mixes these thoughts and it confuses us further. And when we are in a particular problem or when we want to aspire or do something, sometimes negative thoughts, they enter our mind. And these negative thoughts, they actually again, they make us doubt ourselves and they make us judge ourselves that whether or not we'll be able to do it. Next is clinging to attachments. So
coming back to that, the mixed thought, I'm glad that you brought it up. That it's a play, it's a game a mind plays and devastating aspect. Good that you're learning. See, you got to be either for. The only thing you're studying, it's forced for learning the subject. I don't like this, I don't know. So once you bring in that, your concentration falters. So watch out. No mixed thought in critical areas. It's only in favor of studies.
Yes.
It is I'm glad that you're learning these things and from Saitaji. Wonderful. Go ahead, Ma.
Next is our clinging to attachments. So like I said, mind, it has full of likes, dislikes, and we get attached to our possessions. So the mind, it first entangles us in these attachments to not only objects, to people also, and experiences. And it prevents us from moving on and letting go. It like fixes us and doesn't let us detach or get our freedom. We're always just constantly thinking about the past. We're not able to move on. So this is how.
Correct. The biggest game the mind plays with you, with each one of us, and wins hands down, is attachment. Once you're attached, you cannot be peaceful. You cannot be happy. Attachment is an unintelligent flow of thoughts from an individual to an object or a person. It is continuous. So attachment is dangerous.
Yeah.
You got to enjoy your work, not get attached to work. You got to cherish your studies, not get attached to the marks. So this aspect, if you learn thoroughly, you should be objective, not attached. Excellent. Then what else?
So how do we change this? So first, we should identify or understand the game that our mind is playing with us. We should understand that why are we doubting, why are we judging ourselves? And then we should again see and rework our goal. Then last is we should bring our intellect. So again, what is intellect? Intellect is like the master, and it helps us to differentiate between rational and irrational.
Right.
So we bring our intellect and reason with our mind, and our intellect or buddhi, it actually governs our mind. So I have a question.
Right.
How can we use the nature of the mind to our advantage?
See, the nature to use the mind to our advantage is to inculcate or develop pure emotions, like gratitude, the kindness, the attitude of sharing, caring, giving. All these things are beautiful aspects of the mind. The kindness, or as I say, gratitude. It is when you use your intellect, your thinking properly, it gives you the clarity, that awareness with which you are able to develop these emotions. Merely the mind, it will bring in anger, frustration, doubts, judgments, fear, jealousy. With the confluence of the intellect, it directs the mind in such a way that you start understanding about yourself, about others. You become more aware of all that you've been receiving, and gratitude. That's why the best way of using the mind is to become more grateful. Your parents do so much for you. Your school is doing so much for you. Or the city, the government is doing so much. For each one of us, when you become aware, and you can't repay their benevolence. You can't repay the benevolence of your parents. So much. I'm not saying it is that it gives you that attitude of thankfulness. I'm not saying you should fall at their feet, but there is thankfulness. That's why I say thank you is not just a word. It's a very pure emotion.
Yes.
When you say that, you have to mean it. So when you strengthen the intellect and use and direct the mind, it brings in pure emotions. And that is beneficial for you. Very, very helpful for you. So that's the only way. Mind by itself can be a dangerous instrument.
Yeah.
I'm happy that you are going through all this. Continue with the studies. And 96 is a fantastic aggregate you've got. Entire life is there for you to live peacefully, successfully, and progressively. So thank you for your time. We will see you very soon. Enjoy the holidays.
Thank you so much for inviting me. I had a
Thank
wonderful
you.
time.
Welcome. Friends, now we have another special guest, Ishaan Gopalakrishnan. He's been attending the Vedanta for young adults for the last 1 year. Very interesting guy. He learns very fast and he also talks very fast. So you're going to enjoy this conversation. I have enjoyed speaking with him whenever I met him. So it is on my insistence that he's here. So you will enjoy listening to Ishaan. Welcome, Ishaan.
Welcome.
So you've been attending for the last 1 year.
Yeah.
So I hope you have learned important aspects of life.
Yeah, I've been here for 1 year after my father had the privilege to attend a face-to-face session. And I also learned that there was this Vedanta kids class. So I enrolled. I also came into this class and I found it very interesting.
Ah, you found it interesting. So what interested you most?
It's also the topic as well, ego.
What about ego?
So
You're 10 years old?
I'm 11.
11 years old?
Yeah.
And then you know about ego.
Yeah.
Very good. Share us your understanding.
So ego is where we think that we are better than everyone else due to maybe an impulse from the mind, and it's the short form of exaggerated glorification of oneself.
Exaggerated?
Glorification of oneself.
That is ego, ego.
Yeah, ego.
Excellent. This you learned in the class?
Yes, I learned it with Sreedhar ji.
Excellent. Go ahead.
So ego is basically caused by an impulse, as I said, right? And it's very, very interesting to know about this. And this can also be very disruptive for other people as well. For example, let's say that we are in a classroom. There's a group project. There could be an egoistic person whose ideas, who think that they're very superior compared to all of us and could think that their ideas are much more better than everyone else. This could also happen in real life situations you might have seen long ago.
Right. And ego does create issues, right?
Yeah, ego can disrupt up to teamwork.
Teamwork.
Yeah.
And how else it can affect you with ego?
Ego is it's also caused by other things, but one of the things might be praise or anything else like that.
Right. Okay, wonderful. Now, dealing with ego is such an important aspect, and I'm glad that you become aware of it. Therefore, you don't become a victim of it. With ego comes arrogance.
Arrogance, yes. Arrogance is also another word for cocky. These people, it's basically the same meaning as I told. They are thinking that they are better than everyone else like that.
Correct. Wonderful. And then what else you learned in the classes?
I've learned that this can be very disruptive towards everyone else. Can I ask you a question as well?
Sure.
What is the difference and if any relationship between confidence and ego?
Confidence is positive quality. Ego is a negative quality. Ego is self-importance. It's whatever you're doing is the best.
Yeah.
According to you, self-importance, whatever you could be the best, but you think whatever you alone, what you do is the best. And you dismiss others. Ego is just highlighting more about me, mine, and myself.
Yeah.
And what was the other question? Confidence.
Confidence.
Right? Confidence is, when do you get confidence? When you do certain things consistently. You have done certain things you have never done before. Like this podcast. I think it's the first time you're doing it,
this is my
right?
first podcast.
First podcast. So next time you can be a little more confident.
Yes.
Now itself I find you are confident. Next time when you do, imagine you're interviewed by, I don't know, CNN.
Yeah.
Or at a VVC, you'll be more confident because you've done that before.
Yeah.
Something which you have never done before, now you have tried it out, you gain confidence. So when you don't try at all, there is a fear.
Yeah, nervousness or
Nervous,
fear.
correct. So that doesn't, that prevents you from growing. But right now, you pushed yourself out of the comfort zone. You are, willing to be in the seat,
Yeah.
Sharing your understanding, asking a question. So this will create confidence. When this confidence, when you use the mind, it becomes arrogance. That's when you become egoistic. But when you use your intellect, this confidence grows in you in the right way.
Yeah.
You only share what you're understanding, what you're inspired by.
Yeah, it's one of the main reasons of ego as well. Mind is one part of this ego. The counteract this ego is where we use our intellect along with our mind. This can counteract the ego and make us humble and very nice also.
Yes, once you bring in this confluence of mind and intellect, you become more aware. You understand others' contribution, and you become humble.
Yeah, humble.
Humility is the most attractive quality in any individual.
It's one of the qualities for leadership as well.
Yes, that's the reason. Why was Abdul Kalam the most everyone favorite president of India?
He had very nice leadership qualities.
Leadership. Yeah, he was very humble.
Very humble.
Especially when it comes to children and all. You see that his humility was the most attractive quality.
I've heard of him also going into classrooms and being very humble towards all the students as well.
Correct. That's because wherever there is humility, there is lack of ego. Wherever there is ego, there is a lack of humility.
Yeah.
So, and what else you learned?
With all of this, I've learned that to be humble is one of the best things you could do, and it'll be very, very good towards other people, and especially in classroom qualities, workforce, or anything else related.
Very good. So these are your learnings.
Yeah.
And you share it with your parents, whatever you learn?
Yeah, after classes I usually tell all about it.
Who listens to you most?
I think my mom.
Your mom?
Yeah.
Very good. And about your dad?
My dad also listens, but he kind of comes around at night, so I have to tell him at night. That's the thing.
Okay. And what are the other things which were inspiring for you?
Mostly how humble you were, and mostly I took prime leaders as example. Abdul Kalam, Gandhiji, anyone like with leadership qualities, very humble. Well, I've took it to idolize them.
And what are the other things you want to learn in these classes, which you are very keen?
Use our mind and intellect together. Be very humble towards everyone, and be a overall nice person. And I want to take these learnings from Vedanta towards my entire life.
Fantastic. It's just a beginning. You're only 11 years old, right?
Yeah.
Imagine you're going to learn, you're going to be regular in the classes. Am I right?
Yeah.
Huh? When you don't miss the classes, when you focus, when you concentrate, you learn so much. Your concentration level becomes better. Your sense of team spirit, you're able to you will become more friendly.
Yeah.
More friendly with others. And then, you'll be able to choose what the kind of life you want to live.
Yes.
Excellent. Anything else you like to share?
If there's any other, I guess I'll just highlight mostly all about ego. And if there's any student or any young person watching, this speech will just inspire them. You have to use your mind and intellect along with everyone, and be very humble and very kind, and it'll be very nice for you and for everyone else.
Fantastic. Wonderful learning. I'm very happy and proud that at this age you are gaining all this knowledge, and let it be a part of your life. It's not just information. It should bring about a transformation in you. You're learning, you're more humble, you're able to deal with all people in the right way.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ishaan.
Thank you for Sreedharan ji for giving me the privilege to attend this podcast.
Most welcome. And be consistent in Sarita ji's classes, the young adult sessions.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Welcome.